Hi and welcome back. This time I am doing a short video on the Essential Writer's Tools. The first thing that you are going to want to remember to start keeping with you is a notebook. The writer is not going to be home all the time when inspiration strikes. Sometimes you'll only have a moment or two to jot down an idea before it goes poof or you get distracted. So you keep a notebook with you. It can be any size, any shape, as long as you actually keep it with you. With so many sizes available, there's going to be one that will work for you. My dad, he had a tiny pocket-sized one that he used for work. He was a correctional officer. So he didn't have, huge pockets and purses and bags and stuff. He had his briefcase, which he had, your regular sized notebook in. But then on his person, he would carry those little pocket-sized ones. So he always had that with him, that and a pen in his pocket every day before he went off to work. You can also keep several notebooks. You're not constrained to just one, like my father did. Like I tend to do. I have notebooks all over the place. I don't always remember to use them, though, because I'm terrible about that. But I've got a couple that I've been starting to carry around with me more lately. The first one was given to me by one of my nephews. It is absolutely adorable. It's got a little owl on it, little clasp. I like it because it is just the right size for haiku. So this is my haiku journal, and my son has actually gotten a hold of it. He's put kanji in it. But anyway, so there's that type. Very nice. Or your regular old steno book. Not greatly, highly entertaining, but it works. And it fits in a purse just perfect. In addition to actually having paper on hand, you want pens or pencils, whatever you prefer. Even crayons will work in a pinch, and goodness knows I've had to do that before many a time. Whatever you can find that will work to write with, you grab that bugger and you use it. So that's that. For the mobile writer, I suggest ballpoint or mechanical pens, ballpoint or mechanical pencils. Some writers like to take fountain pens with them, and I really do like fountain pens, but I have terrible luck. If I keep a fountain pen in my pocket, guess who it's going to leak on? Oh yeah. So my fountain pens stay at home. My quilt stays at home. Very nice to write with, but not always so convenient for when you've got to write fast or when you're traveling. Do not feel bad if you can't afford fancy pens. A pen is a pen. A pencil is a pencil. If you're writing, it works. But if you have the funds, certainly feel free to have nice fancy pens at your writing desk. Another tool that is essential now to the writer is the laptop or personal computer, or a tablet. They are so helpful. When I was growing up, when I started writing, we didn't have one. It wasn't until afterwards that we got one. So I was stuck with, notebooks and pens. Today's young writers have it a lot easier. They even have free writing applications out there where you can outline your novel, where you can write separate chapters, where you can keep character notes, where you can do your plot outlines. YWriter is really nice and free, and you can actually take your writing and go straight from that to ebook quite handy. Not something we had when I was young. Let's see. The dictionary. Oh boy. The dictionary. The dry book that everybody loves to hate on. Well, guess what? That's now your new best friend if you want to be a writer. Why? Because you have to know what the words you're using mean. Do you realize how embarrassing it is to use the wrong word and have what you think is the correct word, but have it mean something completely and totally different? Doesn't look good if you're trying to get an editor or an agent or to get your manuscript accepted by a publisher. No. You need to make sure that you're using the right words and spelling them right as much as possible. Editors really, really, really get annoyed with having to fix words that are easy to remember. The harder ones they don't get as annoyed with, but the easy ones, they tend to get kind of annoyed. On this note, you want to make sure that you can actually access your dictionary when you need it. I prefer desk versions, but I don't always have access to my desktop version. I really miss my huge red Webster's dictionary, that my dad had gotten for me. I had to leave that behind before in a move. Worst thing ever. Online dictionaries are nice, but if you are traveling or you're writing when the power is out and you're going by candlelight, which I have indeed done, you want to make sure that you can actually use your dictionary. It's also nice to have dictionaries in several different languages. I've got one in Okinawan, I've got a few in Japanese, I have an Irish language dictionary, a Gaelic. I've recently gotten, I think, a French one. I've gotten a Scandinavian one. They are quite useful. If you like to pepper your writing with words in other languages, if you've got a character that would occasionally drop one, you really need to start doing that. Right along that is the other best buddy, your Thesaurus. No, it's not a dinosaur. It would be cool if it was a dinosaur, but I don't know, book dinosaur. It's almost as strange as, a T-Rex with, opening and closing, snap. I really need more coffee. Okay, so anyway, Thesaurus. If you have a tendency to reuse words, it can help you a lot in finding different words. You don't want to repeat yourself. No. Inspiration is another tool that you are going to need. It strikes unexpectedly, but it can also be coaxed. And it is never tameable. Don't even hope to be able to tame your inspiration, because then it will beat you up and drag you out the door and leave you in the garbage heap laughing while it takes over your bed. The muse is a very fickle, sometimes evil thing. You want to sweet talk your muse by making time to, go out into nature, go on walks, go look at pictures, go do different things to keep your brain juices flowing. Do not just sit doing the same thing day after day after day after day, because you will get stale, your inspiration will get stale, and guess what happens to your writing when that happens? It's not pretty. I have had that happen to me before. Do keep yourself moving. Some other things that can help keep your inspiration flowing. People watch. Yes, you may think it is funny, you over there, young man, but people watching is actually a very useful tool. You see how people act, how they react, what makes them act or react. You see their little personal tics, like my little hair thing that I catch myself with all the time. Annoys me so much. Some writer out there may have used that. Gather photos of things that inspire you. If you're writing a particular setting, research that. Find pictures of it. Play music that just gets you flowing. The deeper you can get into your emotion, the better it is conveyed in your work. The library is another wonderful resource for the writer. Visit ye old library. It might seem a little dated to some. The world of the computer, the world of the internet, all the data you need is at your fingers. Yes, but there is quite a bit that you might miss by just using the computer, by not going and talking to a librarian, by going and using books, sometimes opening them up, maybe something random falls out of a page, somebody's bookmark that they've left behind, somebody's love letter that might inspire you, pressed flowers. There's more than just the information that is in the book itself. And the librarian, the person that takes care of the books, might turn out to have additional information that can help you, or might be able to point you out to somebody that will have information that might help you. So grab that notebook, grab your pen, and go for your walk over to the library. Also, on that note, hit up a museum. Looking at an artifact in person might jog something loose, might give you that extra little layer of detail you need to make your writing richer. And of course, there are people out there that will laugh. However, you will have rich writing. You will have the writing that sells if you immerse yourself enough. Also, talk to other poets and authors. Connect with people that are your peers in the writing world. Connect with others in your genre. Connect with others that are not in your genre. Not only does it help combat the feeling of isolation that comes with involving yourself in a lot of writing, but they might have tips that will help you. They might have experiences that will help you. They might be able to tell you about which publisher is not so good to submit your stuff to, which ones are slow, which ones will accept you and then drop you, which ones have good editors, which ones have bad editors. An author might be able to point you to a freelance editor out there with, great experience that is just right up your alley and a perfect working partner. They might be able to help you find an agent. Talk with your fellow writers. Find an author's circle. Also, you're going to want a routine. If you can, set yourself a block of time that's what you do, is you write. And you make people respect your writing time. That will help a lot in actually being able to get things done. This means don't piddle around while you're writing, though. Social media is a great thing, but it is a time eater like no one's business. I have experienced this so many times where I get up for the day and I'm all, yes, I am writing that chapter today. It's going to be all done and over with. Give me that 11 pages in one day, baby. And then I get distracted. want it. And I kick myself afterwards. Sure, the conversations are great and they help and they give me ideas, but that's also time that I could have been writing. Not to say I don't like my conversations, but everything in its time and its place, as my closest ones out there know. Don't feel bad about not replying to somebody right away. And for those that come up to you in real life and try to talk at you over your shoulder while you're writing, get them to understand that what you are doing is important to you. So, if need be, set up your desk a particular way. Have a cup of coffee. Stick to your writing routine as much as possible. If you've got particular music that you need to write with, you put on that music and you write. If you've got to lock the doors and unplug the phone, do so. If you've got to get somebody to keep the people away from the door for that bit of time, don't feel bad about hiring your kids to be your receptionists. I have had to do this before too. It doesn't always work. Sometimes they lose interest. Sometimes they forget. But you do have to put your boundaries out there. The people that don't write often don't realize how much effort actually goes into writing. So, do things that will help you keep your focus. I originally had 9 tools in my little script that I was going to go with, but I'm going to add in another thing: food and drink. Your brain burns up a lot of calories while you are thinking and writing. And as a hypoglycemic, trust me, it is necessary to have munchies with you. So, can you think of any other tools that you might need as a writer? If so, please feel free to suggest them. Please feel free to list them. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and do please subscribe and be watching for other videos that are released on this channel, and I will see you later.